Hello and welcome to Sippin Tea, where we talk bollocks and talk Tottenham and we don't sip tea. TJ, he's
I had to wet my
TJ, I'm
whistle
Callum. He remembers how to do this, I
I had
promise.
to wet my whistle there. So, I'm TJ. That's with Callum. I'm from Mississippi. He is from London. We met watching the Spurs play in Dallas and started a podcast. And somewhere along the way, we picked up a Pennsylvania in, and our buddy Dane brought him back. It was he boosted our ratings by I think it doubled last week. So
From
gotta
1
give
to
him what
2.
people want.
The American idiot. What's up, bro?
What's up, lads? Hope everyone's doing well. I wanted to thank you again for having me on the pod. I mean, I think we got a lot to talk about today. There's a lot of breaking news with Tottenham going around right now.
Oh, yeah. One of them isn't actually what I want to talk about because it's sad as fuck, but I know TJ's got more information on that.
No, jump into it.
Oh, I'm talking about U-Boat. I'm talking about Perisic out
Yeah.
for the season. That's probably like, some people might see him as, maybe old and liable for kind of overrun sometimes. But I think us at the pub, we love him. When he comes on, he changes the style. He's always attacking. Yeah, he's kind of a liability defending sometimes, but those little stepovers that go nowhere, they sure look good on camera. So missing him for me is a little bit of added excitement. He's always gonna try and whip it in at least too. You've always got to put something in the mixer, try your luck, kind of roll the dice. So I think we're really gonna miss him as like an impact player, like late on. I'm not sure if the other two that we have as options are going to be really impactful. So yeah, just sucks really.
Yeah, I think Big Ange had kind of plugged him in as going to be his super sub. I think he's most prim games, either we had it in the bag and brought that veteran leadership on there at the end, kind of close out the games, or even, the good segue into our wild game that we had this past weekend. Perisic on the on the cross from the corner that got Richie his well-deserved / mentally needed goal.
Oh yeah, Richie Rich.
But
that's definitely a hot topic.
Something Dane and I were kind of chatting about before you hopped on was just in a comparison to I don't know, I guess American football. Like, it's pretty common over here that I feel like players get hurt in practice, right? And I was telling him, I was like, I don't know if I've ever heard of a soccer / football guy getting hurt in training, and blowing out an ACL. I'm sure it happens, but I was just like,
yeah,
kind of an interesting data point.
It happens. It happens a couple of times. It's happened to the he who should not be named. It's happened to a few people. I mean, the ones that it doesn't happen to are normally, probably your wingers, and it should be your forwards, because those guys, your attacking players, are pretty much like in the locker room. It's like you do not touch in training.
Yeah.
And no hard tackles, no defenders and stuff. They're gonna smash each other. They're gonna, you know what I mean. But so to happen to him, mate, ACL blown out like that. I mean, you're probably on the right lines of how the nerve does that happen?
Yeah.
Like,
well,
age? Is it age?
Yeah. It could be, and you wonder if age is going to affect his recovery. What Euros are coming up 2024. That's got to be, I guess, what he's trying to get back for.
Yeah, well, TJ, I'm glad that you brought that up, because I was sitting here just kind of doing a little research, looking up on it, and they actually, I don't know if this is true or not, but they kind of said that his recovery time is 5 to 6 months. And I feel like that's pretty quick for an ACL injury, especially when it says that he damaged his PCL and his MCL in the tear. So
yeah, maybe.
Hey,
maybe
listen,
him and Nick
you just
Chubb
started speaking German.
Yeah. Sorry.
I saw that. I mean, they were saying March, April. Even throwing out that time frame, and thought we'd have him back by the end of the year. Which, maybe ACL surgeries are just we've advanced in medicine that much. I don't know. What would Ricky Bobby say about it?
Maybe you guys are hiding some stuff in the Tottenham locker room there. You're not sharing with everyone else. So
To be
Well,
fair,
based off our usual recovery time from injuries, that is the complete opposite of what happened.
well, you never know. You never know. The Aussie might be bringing some of that kangaroo special juice and
There it is.
giving it to old Perisic, and maybe he's got quick turnaround. But no,
That
I think
kangaroo oil.
I think nice lube. I think basically that's to keep everyone positive. Like you're not gonna just say like, well, you've got him for the rest of the season. He's gone, whatever, like that. You
Benny.
probably put like a little, hey, he's gone for a long time. By the time March rolls around, most of us are thinking like someone, we've moved on as such, and not thinking about it as much. So
Yeah.
probably just
Well,
to kind of keep everyone somewhat positive.
and I think his contract's up at the end of the year too, right?
mm-hmm.
I think we only
Yeah.
signed him on a 2-year deal.
I think I could see. I mean, I could see two things happening there. I could see us probably trying to get him for the rest of his career, and then also, I don't see Ange being a kind of coach to like, hey, rush back. Like he's gonna. I feel like he's the kind of coach that's gonna take care of his guys and just be like, do you know what? It's okay. We'll fill in where we can. So I could see us trying to work a deal out. Probably get him cheap. Probably get him like on a cheaper contract. Maybe lower his wages a little bit too.
So for you
Well,
both,
everybody pour one out for Perisic's knee tonight. And with that segue though, and talking about his cross, what a wild match over the weekend against Sheffield.
Yeah.
Probably the wildest I've ever saw the pub. The Liverpool match last year was pretty good, but then obviously that didn't end too well. But this one was I don't know. Callum, what was it like throughout the game?
Oh, I would say like, I mean, not to really kind of rub it in Dane's face or nothing, because we're winning while they're losing, but it was pretty spectacular. I've seen a pub maybe that wild. Conte Tuchel handshake. There's certain things that like stick out to me that are like that pub went. No, it rocked. But yeah, for sure, four goals. Yeah, we saw 4 goals during that. So the 2 Brennan Johnson, like he scored twice on his debut, both ruled out, and you got the Richie goal and then Richie assist to Kulu for the goal. We basically had 90 odd minutes of just, this is shit. Like getting really excited, we'd explode. We were singing like joke songs pretty much the whole time. So the atmosphere was like more just like, let's just have a laugh, day's over, whatever. And then that ending that's like Rocky 4 kind of shit right there. And the funny thing I wanted to point out was not only Richarlison getting the golden assist like you guys mentioned, but Kulu's goal came from him coming from the left side with his right foot to score the goal. When the entire game, we watched him try and cut in on his left like he normally does and just get shut down, and we were all screaming at him. So that to me was like, cherry on top.
Yeah, which right. I mean, the game was a little chaotic, but when you brought Johnson on, he clearly went to the right, and so I don't even know where Decky was. I don't.
He was like kind of moving.
He just floating in the middle. Him and Madison just.
Yeah, he was just moving.
What was interesting, and now I don't even remember, but did we pull off Van de Ven and put on Højbjerg there at the end? I forget the sub, but you could tell that Big Ange was going for it because, you're down 1-0 at home right to Sheffield, which you should not be in that position. But we were just like, okay, yeah, go for it. In which it was so funny because up until probably the 90th minute, most guys were like, no, I'm not happy with the draw. And then we draw, and then everybody's just like, all right, cool. And then we don't even have time to come back down before we got that winner in. So it was such, like most Tottenham games, right? Just such a roller coaster because first half, I thought we played well, right? I mean,
I think the whole game.
Unlucky shots. I don't even know what the stats were and see if we can get to it.
I think it was
something
like
we had 28 shots, 10 on target.
Yeah.
70% possession. And Sheffield were starting wasting time in like the 15-minute zone. And their keeper played a TJ Baggett move and tried to handle it outside the box and only got a yellow for it. So
Oh yeah, that was pretty intense in the pub too when that happened. Like, because we like wound up like a tight spring. Like watched time wasting, and then you just seen that. I think people were ready to like jump through the screen to try and act like a teleport. But yeah, Dane, did you catch any of that game?
Yeah, yeah. The biggest thing for me, honestly, is I think it's a huge confidence boost for Richarlison. I mean, I loved the fact to see him with all the criticism he's been getting and how much people kind of have been saying he's not performing to the level he needs to be. That like in a crucial game like that, both goals that you scored, he was a key factor in both of them. So I'd love to see that. I would love for him to develop into what he kind of used to be when he was, playing over at Everton. So if
Yeah.
that's something that he can get back to, that'd be great. But I mean, yeah, you guys showed great fighting spirit. I mean, many games I've seen other teams be down 1-0 towards the end, and you just kind of give up, or you throw shit at the wall and hope it sticks. But you guys actually had two quality goals throughout the end of the
Oh yeah.
games.
Oh yeah. These boys will run through. These boys, fuck a brick wall. These boys will run through a tank for Big Ange right now. But I just want to ask you as well. Like I was really like itching to ask you this today.
Okay.
As a mutual, I'll admit this to our 5 listeners and to you boys. I've admitted it in the past. Always had a soft spot for like Newcastle, like, and then they've never been good. Now that they're like competing with us and like have been better than like us, like it's hard to kind of like them. It's hard to like watch them succeed or whatever, even though they got in trouble today. But as a mutual, do you enjoy watching this kind of football? If it's Tottenham, or if you take the name away from it, just like as a mutual, just watching that game.
Yeah, I mean, I for sure do. It makes it interesting, Like you said, Brennan Johnson came on his debut and he scores 2 goals. They get taken
Yeah.
away. So you're like, oh, you have the highs and you have the lows. Then you go up back again to the highs, and then you go back down to the lows. 2 goals taken away, and you're like, all right, now we got to dig deep.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, hey, we already did it. We should be up 2-1 right now, but guess what? We're still down, nil.
Oh mate,
It's
TJ. I'm getting like I'm going again. Like we're back in there right now. Oh, Dane, you're getting me fired up. Love that.
that's the games that I love to see
Um,
is like you guys showed the fighting spirit and you did what you needed to do to get the result, and now you deserve the praise for it.
Yeah, which
I'm
I
glad.
think
I'm glad it was good to watch.
yeah, I mean, and that's what probably kept us somewhat positive, right? Because chances were coming, right? But as a Spurs fan, you're used to just everything not going your way, um, which is funny though, right? Because we broke the record for the latest comeback, in Premier League, which
Yeah.
we broke our own record that was Bergie at Leicester, which funny enough, like both of those being the Tottenham is, I guess that is the most Spursiest thing that
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
happen to have both of those records when typically we're known as bottlers, butlers, butlers.
Yeah.
No, I'm just,
But no,
um,
Butlers. Definitely not Butlers. Butlers are more like Arsenal and shit like that.
let's
Speaking of
No.
Arsenal,
I know. So I mean, the final point I was going to make on the game, and then like you guys can have your final says on it, was TJ. You mentioned it earlier. I watched this video of a breakdown of what Ange Ball is, and it was really interesting. Kind of like they kind of showed different points of views from like other people. Yes, massive kangaroo nuts, and previous people like Joe Hart talking about him. All of these amazing people saying how incredible he is. All right, so you've got this incredible guy, and he has a style that he wants you to play in, but like you've got to like actually execute that, and you've actually got to have the right players with the right mindset. I think that comes down to having a really young team again, and then also just big nuts on every motherfucker on that field. Solomon stands about 4 foot tall. He's balling around people like he's 6 foot tall. And then Dane mentioned it earlier as well. This like just it's fun to watch. I didn't know that when Ange is attacking, we play with almost just 2 defenders. He expects everyone to expects the next 2 to be ahead, so that midfield actually has 4, and then it's the 3 above that that's set into like a front block, so that if the ball does ricochet and come back, like that, it's like high press all the time. When we took off Van der Ven and we put on Højbjerg, who's going to go into midfield as well, we go down to 1 defender. you go down to one man left at the back and you are on full attack. To me, like that's. I mean,
going
look,
for it.
yeah, that's. I mean, I think that's probably one of the greatest things you could ask for in a manager. No.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Just well, and again, like I said, I think when and for us being through, I don't even count Nuno, but Mourinho and Conte, right? And even still, like we were down. Maybe was it a cup game or something, or maybe Champions League? I don't know, right? We were down. I think he pulls Dyer off and puts Sanchez on, right? We're used to seeing those types of subs that are like one just deflating in general, but two, it's almost like, hey man, you're not even going for it. You're not even trying.
It's
like,
It's egotistical. I don't.
Yeah,
I want to. I want to
versus now,
stop
like,
my getting beaten, like
yeah,
embarrassingly, and I want to just put the game
yeah,
to bed. Yeah.
and to the point, right? I mean, we kind of know that center backs are key in our setup, and when we were basically just like one center back, whatever. We lose to Sheffield 2-0. What's the difference of losing 1-0 at home, right? But
No.
yeah, no, I mean it was a lot of yep. We kept the momentum going, rolling into Arsenal this weekend.
Just the confidence, yeah.
We'll talk about next week later. Dane, unfortunately, Brighton are playing well.
Yeah.
And you did not look great over the weekend, but I didn't even watch the game, right? Because was that same time as ours? It was, right?
Yeah.
Or early. Yeah. What's your takeaways from your guys' game?
It's tough because remember last week when I said that Brighton was going to finish top 4?
And they may.
I'm going to stick with that statement. But honestly, there's a lot of changes that need to happen with United right now. There's injuries all over the field. There's players that are just not performing. It's a tough time right now. We're not going to change it by snapping our fingers. It's going to be a long year. We're kind of in that road right now that it's going to be a long year. Sorry, I got something right here. But it's just going to be a long year. Today, I'll bring this up briefly, but watching the Bayern game actually, didn't look too terrible.
Yeah.
I was kind of pleased with. Besides Onana, yeah.
Are you watching the same game?
But
were you watching the same game, mate? Your goals were like ricochet lucky goals.
The reason I say that is because we go down 2-0. Like the game's actually pretty competitive. Like we have chances, they have chances, and then the very first goal is a ball shot at Onana's fingers, and he actually throws it in the net. Like my grandmother in her grave could have saved that. Like it's horrible. And one of the worst things is like you're playing a good game and then you turn around and watch your goalie do that. That's just like the most deflating thing ever. And I'm not even on the field. I can't imagine what they're saying.
I actually let a howler in just like that on Monday night. I mean,
Can we just
review? That goal actually didn't matter, but when he did that, it's for me. I was like, you know what? Even the pros do it.
There you go.
Can we just review? Dana's just said, my grandmother in her grave could, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Well, I mean,
we love dark humor, so yeah.
After that. And to be fair, right, the casket was made of the gold. So
yeah.
Exactly. But no, like in all seriousness, we go down 2-0 at halftime. We come back out, and whether they were lucky or not, we gave up a penalty that was, an obvious handball. And then, we come back and we have a chance. Thank God for Casemiro scoring 2 goals and, 5 minutes.
Eriksson.
Yeah, for real.
Agent Eriksson. No, so, I mean, but just going back to, the Brighton thing is like you played well for like 15 minutes, the opening 15 minutes of that game, you guys were balling. This game, I feel like you were shaking. I feel like a lot of your players, like I hate Bruno, but he's a machine, like absolute like rage machine. Sometimes gets carded, sometimes gets hot tempered, but sometimes you need that as well. Hence he wears the band. But like you can play well, right, and then still lose. what happens in players' minds around United that might not be happening at Tottenham. And that's not, I don't actually mean that one as a dig. It's like genuinely looking, you had about 9 players that were just heads down during the Brighton like mauling, and you just got schooled. Whereas only Bruno and Rashford are like smashing into people, running into, like chasing everything down. Like,
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I can think about is like the players that you see with their heads down, obviously. The past 3-4 years for United, we've been going through kind of, manager changes. We've been not having the greatest years. And then last season, Ten Hag comes in and we actually, finish Champions League spot. We have a good season. And then you start this year and it kind of feels like you're going right back down that roller coaster ride. And I feel like it's getting to the point this year where they're sitting there and they're thinking, oh, shit, like we're down, 1-2-0, whatever the score was. We're losing to Brighton. We're not going to be able to win this game. And that's where I feel like it's just like a mentality thing right now that we, besides all the injuries and all the changes that we're making, we're trying to battle our own internal self to be better on the field because United is known for giving up early goals to teams that they shouldn't be. And we're known for fighting back. I mean, look at all their games this year. I think it's like it's like 95% of their games this year that they've had like 7 or 8 games. So like probably 7 out of the 8 games, they've given up the first goal within like the first 10 minutes of the game. Like it's very common.
Yeah, very end of season Spursy.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't want to harp on it too much as this is a Tottenham podcast, but like it was just a lot of that need to be made. So let's talk about you guys and how you have this swinging dick momentum to go in and knock Arsenal around a little bit.
I'm hoping so.
But it's at the Emirates, and I think I looked it up earlier, kind of when we kind of had the group chat going around, and I mean I think it's been since like the early 2000s since the last time that we've won there. So right, going into the Emirates usually doesn't fare very well for us, and both teams have momentum, right? And I saw the highlights from their game today, and they just absolutely steamrolled PSV, which our only hope is maybe they spend a little bit too much energy during that game. And
right, we're all resting. We've had 4-course meals every single day and massages and all that shit, and they've just had to go run around like brick shit houses.
Yeah, I don't even know where that game was.
So I don't know. So sorry, I didn't mean to just kind of dip out there. I couldn't believe that stat, and I don't know why I didn't know the answer, because I saw in your eyes there's a little bit of a question of like, when was the last time Tottenham won? So on my All Football app, it has Tottenham last winning at the Emirates when it wasn't even the Emirates, when they were fucking still the Woolwich Wanderers, which they still are. They are not. There's no place called fucking Arsenal. All right. So when it was Highbury in 2006. We won in the league 3-2 comeback victory as Spursy as it can get to win it there Gaff, which I mean is pretty dismal. I didn't think that. I remember watching us batter Arsenal for like 4 years in a row, but I guess every single time it was at home.
Yeah, and then I guess it says that maybe in 2011 it says we won there in the Premier League. But so I mean that's over 10 years though.
Still, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
You look at it at one side of, oh, we're going there, we never win, or eventually statistics say we got to win there at some point, right? So why not this weekend? It'll be interesting. Do you kind of getting into some predictions here? Do you start Richie? After the game last week, or do you put him in late again and kind of keep in your pocket as a super sub?
Go ahead, Dane. I'll let you answer that one first, actually, as a mutual.
I mean, Callum, I think we were going to agree on the same thing here. I would keep him as a super sub for right now. There's a lot of reasons for that, but I think the main one is, hey, we subbed you on late last week, and look at the energy that you brought in. Look at what you did. I don't think there's any reason to change that. I mean, I'm not going to say this because I haven't watched all of the Tottenham games. I don't know how he's been performing or whatnot, but just looking at, my fantasy Premier League app, he's not been performing when he starts.
He hasn't.
So I feel like there's no reason to change anything up. I feel like if it's working, or if it's worked at least once, hey, let's try it again. You can't do any harm with that.
Yeah, and I think I agree. I just wanted to see what he was gonna say. I think that you sit him, tell him, listen, you're going on, like regardless, sit there with a fire in your belly and a fork up your ass, get ready to go on, and just send him like a ravaged beast into the middle of the pitch, and tell him to just score goals. I think that is the best way to use him, and you let the rest of the team kind of try and build something. Because Dane's right, he hasn't started well, and I think he gets in his head when he hasn't scored in 20 minutes or whatever. He's probably going to start just rushing shit, and definitely gets in his head.
Callum, you just put through a ton of imagery right there. You had fire in the belly, fork up an ass, and something about a dragon or something.
Ravaged beast.
Yeah, whatever.
That's all the same thing, right? I promise you, I am. What up, Luce? I'm pretty sure I am the most antisocial person right now, and I look terrible on camera, but I really just have to find something on my phone real quick. So, talk amongst yourselves.
So, and we didn't. I don't think we were able to hit on it last. Well, yeah, we hadn't hit on this yet because it was coming out of the international break, but kind of keeping on with Charleston. I don't know if y'all saw, like, when he got subbed off from Brazil, like, homie was in tears, like, crying. And basically gave the interview saying, hey, whatever, I need some mental health. Help, I guess, for lack of better terms. And I don't know if y'all caught what Big Ange then obviously had to speak to the press about this comment. And I don't know if y'all caught it, but it was pretty good, and kind of giving the Spark Notes version of that. It was basically saying, hey, like, we all struggle. We're all human. At the end of the day, people think that these footballers, because they have the money, they have the fame, and they're playing a sport for their living, that they're happy. And I think he's like, look, he's like, I've been a fairly successful coach, and I have demons, and that we all deal with, and I just thought that was a really class way to kind of handle that.
Oh yeah, he is a top bloke.
And who knows whether Richie got his mental health counseling help before the match. If so, then we probably need to schedule that more before the Arsenal game.
I think that may have been it, mate.
Yeah. If not, then I'm going to credit Big Ange for having him back and kind of giving a pretty class statement there.
All right, boys.
Real quick,
oh, no.
I want to run this.
No. Just hold on 1 second. This is important. This is really important. I promise you it's not a dick pic. Oh, mate. Can the camera see that? Fuck. I'm wasting time on a podcast.
That's what I was about to say. Keep in mind that most people listen to here are YouTube videos.
No. They can watch it. They make this the thumbnail.
All right, so
this is terrible.
What's it?
All right, I'll explain it. I'll explain it then. This is terrible. Yeah, it's literally Alicia. I was like, hey, look, babe, what do you think of this stadium? And she goes, is it Arsenal? She goes, fucking hate Arsenal. Oh, this is terrible. And then she flipped it off.
That's the moment you knew.
Yeah, there you go. That's better.
There it is.
There it is. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, waste of 45 seconds. There you go.
All right.
That's one of my most proud possessions right there. A picture of Alicia flipping off the Emirates. All right.
I'm with you.
Nothing better than that. All right. So I was doing a little bit of research here, and I want to kind of run something by you guys and just kind of pick your brains for a little bit here. So for Arsenal, right now, throughout this season, they rank 7th in average goals scored. So they annually score 1.8 goals a game. And Tottenham has allowed about 1 goal a game conceded per match, which ranks 4th out of the EPL. Now, looking at the other side of
Since
things,
when?
since the beginning, like the start of this year.
This year. All right, cool.
And then
Up
Tottenham,
top.
and then Tottenham ranks 3rd for goals per match, ranking at 2.6, while Arsenal is tied for 2nd on goals allowed per match at 0.8. So if you look at that, it kind of looks fairly even. I mean, you know, Arsenal has less goals against, but they don't have as many goals for. You have more goals
Yeah.
for, but then a little bit more against.
And again, I think that goes back to our style of play. You know, I don't think Ange really cares about clean sheets as long as you know, and I think he said it in his earlier interviews. You know, the point of the game is to score more goals than the other team, right? So if you're doing that, but you know, I mean, Arsenal is a very class team, right? I mean, it's going to be a tough match.
I'm going to ignore you said that, TJ, and just follow up with, that's very even, and I think no one wants to draw in that scenario, so fuck it. I'm putting out a prediction right now. I think it's going to be 3-2 Tottenham.
I like it. I like that your analysis is also fuck it.
Yeah. The big Ange way.
Very data driven. Here's a picture
the big
of
Ange
off
way.
the stadium, and we're gonna win.
Yeah. About as basic as it gets, mate. No, that was all based on factual evidence. That was a scientific prediction. Dana said something about something, and I just said, fuck it, we're gonna win.
There it is.
I like it. That's a very good mentality to have. Who does United have this weekend, Dane? I don't even know.
I don't want to look.
Someone they're gonna lose against.
Yeah. At this point,
I can put team name here.
Hey, you've got Burnley. Burnley.
Oh yeah, that's a 1-0 loss, mate. That's a fucking 1-0 loss.
Here's the thing, right? Is that we were talking about this in a group chat that we have with some of our close friends down here, and the one other friend, his name is Connor. He's a United fan as well, and he says the worst thing about United right now is the fact that there's hope. Like it's the false hope every single time. So you know what? I'm gonna take some of his advice, and I'm not gonna hope for anything.
At least then you can be pleasantly surprised.
Exactly.
That's fair. Well, and
very fair.
I was trying to think back earlier. I mean, United started out awful last year too, and eventually got it together. Do you think maybe Ten Hag just has like the Harry Kane doesn't score in August? It's just Man U doesn't win in. Well, I can't say August now.
No, Man United doesn't win until fucking January.
We did have one win in August. Thank you very much. Honestly,
we're not trying to gang up on you here, but it is a great time right now to be a Spurs fan. Probably City, fuck them. That's not even real fans. But like you guys have had amazing success. So just let some of us have it.
Yeah. It would be if it was the tables turned, I'd be coming on this podcast and asking you guys all these questions. It'd be a completely different story. I probably wouldn't be invited back. So, it kind of works out perfectly. No.
I mean,
say what you want, mate. Just get booted.
You'll get it together. You got what's it? Amrabat? How do you say his name? That guy.
Amrabat, yeah.
A couple years ago, and everybody hated it, and then he went off in the World Cup.
Yeah.
He's Morocco
left back, Amrabat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What is your timeline for injuries too? Because you've also got players. They're just injured.
Y'all bought him hurt.
Yeah, we bought him hurt, and then here's the thing: is we have Wan-Bissaka's out for at least like 2 to 3 months. Luke Shaw's out for a couple more months. Varane is out for a couple more months. It's just right there. Luke Shaw and Varane are pretty much – they make our defense look so much better when they play. And now we're having to play Martinez, who's not the most reliable. He's very hot-headed. I like to think of him as a white Argentinian, Calais Campbell. Yeah, or Romero, yeah. And, we have a lot of things to figure out. I would love for them to turn it around, but we need to either change tactics. We need to change other. I mean, like look at what we're doing right now. You know, we played Bayern today, and guess who started on right wing or right mid?
You're gonna tell me.
Pelistri.
Yeah, you guys. I was gonna say you're gonna.
He's a fucking 18-year-old kid. He probably just started wanking 2 months ago. You know, like it's just.
Yeah, I actually did see that when I came in. I caught the second half. Yeah, and Pulisic was like pretty weak on the ball too.
Yeah,
he was trying to dribble through people, was getting just like kind of knocked around like a redheaded stepchild.
Oh man, yeah, I didn't even. I was kind of in and out of the game. I don't even know who that kid is. Maybe
I know it sounds like pull your string.
What do you say, TJ?
Haaland from Wish.
Yeah, baby Haaland.
Yeah, you know they're brothers in United eyes. So
long lost cousins at least. It's
Yeah.
less of a stretch.
So, is there any other big games coming up this weekend? Probably not, because all eyes are going to be on North London.
Yep.
they
North
are.
London Derby, and that pub is going to be buzzing. TJ, you never actually threw out a prediction.
1-1.
Boo. Mate, I love you and you're my friend, but boo.
Remember earlier when you said nobody wants a draw? Well, TJ does.
Yeah, fuck this guy, right? Who's your mate, Dane? Who's your mate?
That is my realistic expectations, right?
That's actually sounds like based on the science stuff that Dane said.
I don't want the false hope, right? Me and Dane right now, we're going to operate in false hope while you operate in. We're going to smash them.
Kangaroo land, fuck it.
Oh.
Hey, I do have a question. This is a little bit off topic, and I don't want to go on a huge tangent.
That's okay. We were kind of running dry there.
Did any of you see the missing F-35 plane? Please tell me you've seen that.
So the only TikTok I saw about it is.
Oh, you said TikTok as well.
Yeah. Is the black dude emulating the sounds of the F-35, which is phenomenal.
No, basically, I was bringing it up because I saw the video of that person that actually like caught it on video. They thought they were just like watching the plane, whatever. They're like, "Oh, look at this," and then it starts doing all this like weird shit. The guy ejects out the plane, and then they ask the public to help them find a plane. Maybe Manchester United can ask the public to help them find some points. Go on, son.
That was good. I can't even be mad about that one. That was classic. That was a good thing.
Calvin, did you work on that all day?
Yeah.
No, I just told you I came into this like hot-headed. Like I just boiled that up and just let that go. Sorry, mate. You caught the brunt end of that. I had about T-3 seconds to prepare before this. Hence,
I kind of hope that the plane landed in the middle of Old Trafford so our game gets canceled.
No, it was South Carolina or North Carolina or something.
Give us another week to think about it. Yeah, I think it was South Carolina.
Yeah, one of the Carolinas. And then the other bit of news that I saw is the Harry Kane buyback clause. True or false?
True.
Fabrizio reported it. It's true. That man don't lie.
That's true. It's very true. He doesn't lie. However, could this be a white lie? I just, mate, I don't want to get my hopes up.
I mean,
even though he's dead to me still, but you know.
Allegedly, we had that in the bail deal too, right? Where it's just if I think it's what specific to Premier League clubs, right? If any Premier League club puts in an offer and Bayern accepts it, Tottenham can match it, you know, and then they have to sell to us, I guess, right?
Also, yeah, it's also like one of those if they have to be putting them up for sale, right? And like it has to be like an open market sale. It can't just be us approaching them saying like, "Hey, I want him back," right?
Right. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I thought he looked okay today. He still looked a little sluggish out there, but maybe he's just figuring some things out. I did see, like, I don't know if you saw his post-game interview with Carragher and Henry and
Shabbat.
Kate Aldo, is that her name? Um, and it was so funny because they kind of ended it, and honestly, like Harry picked Tottenham to win this weekend though. Just FYI. But it's the kind of the end of it. Carragher yelled something at him in German, and Kane was just like, "No idea what you just said." It was so like, and
It was like,
he's like, "No, I got nothing."
So what do you think? What do you think the likelihood and kind of timeline of Munich possibly even being open to that sale?
To sell him back. I mean, I think he's there at least 2 years, right? I mean, it probably a little bit depending on how well Bayern does this year. I mean, if they win the Champions League, then maybe King says, all right, now I've won, whatever. I've won my trophy. I'm gonna come back and come after the Premier.
Yeah. Unless he does what Bale does and goes and wins everything.
Yeah, but maybe he also enjoys winning trophies and stays there for 2 years.
But realistically, would you even want him back? And what's like the range of his age, and then how much you're willing to spend on him?
I mean,
that's my point. Yeah.
If Big Ange still has the team rolling, right? Well, I mean, even Kane as a 32-year-old is probably, I don't know what his cost would be, but it's not going to be on a free, and it's probably not less than 30. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, and I forget what's the effect called. I saw it thrown around, but it's like basically, was it the Patrick Ewing effect? We'll have to Google that later.
No. I only know the Stockholm effect.
Yeah, and I meant to even look it up to kind of see, but my guess is the Knicks got close with Ewing for all those years, and then as soon as they got rid of him, they started doing even better. So yeah, I guess they call it the Ewing theory is technically what it's called. But anyway, they said maybe, and I'll read it. It says it's when a star athlete that receives a large amount of media attention and fan interest, but crucially never leads his team to any meaningful success, leaves their team. And then the team exceeds expectations without that player. So
I fucking love that. All right. Let's roll with that.
Dedicating this pod to Patrick Ewing.
Give me some of that, yeah.
And yeah, but maybe that's actually what you're seeing, right? You're seeing some of these guys step up, but I mean, in all honesty, this team is completely different now than even when Kane was there, right? I mean, other than Son and whatever, a year and a half with Decky and Romero, it's a brand new team, right? And kind of functioning on all cylinders, and yeah, maybe.
Oh yeah, we got players on loan right now too. I mean, yeah, you don't want to bring something in and kind of mess up the.
And he can't get his number 10 yet because Madison's stole that and trying to make the most of it.
Yeah, Madison's gonna stand there and be like, "Yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah, no, your number's down there."
Can't get 9 either because Richie's got it. So
yeah.
he's gonna have to go back to 37 or whatever it was when he come out of the academy.
Yeah, 18 or 37. All right, so moving on real quick. What is your shithouse list of the week, and then predictions for Dane? You got to give me an official prediction for your game, and then you owe us a prediction for officially the Tottenham Arsenal game coming up. TJ, you want to go first? Shithouse list.
I am, but I'm not going to know who did it. But it happened in the Champions League today. It was Real Sociedad was playing Inter Milan.
Yeah,
and he was one of the he's one of the guys from Real Sociedad. But it was like whatever, he was on the ground, and a Milan player is kind of like standing up, and they kind of get their legs tangled. And then he all of a sudden like grabs his nuts and starts rolling around, acting like he got stomped on. And in real time, yeah, it did. And it was funny. Michael Oliver was reffing the game and comes out straight red. VAR looks at it, takes it back because this guy just absolutely faked it all and then gives a yellow to the other guy. So whoever that guy was from Spain.
I mean, that
he was going on my shit house, and
you need to.
and he was going on it either way. If the red stood, he was still going to get it for acting that way. But I think it is funny now that with VAR, it does make that a little bit easier. And it was, I forget, it was one of the wingers or whatever from Milan, but like he went up and shook Oliver's hand after he rescinded his right. But anyway, that guy's going on mine. I don't know who he is. We'll look that up.
And Dane, who you got on a shithouse list this week?
Oh, easily Onana after that piss poor. That's easily there. I mean,
I'm sorry, we get so much laugh out of it.
No, it's if anyone hasn't seen that, please take the chance and just look up the replays and just look at the first goal and tell me that it would be hard to not save that ball.
Yeah.
Like,
hence your grandmother in the grave could do
you're
it.
damn right. She would cross the sea and
I will literally let one just like that in this weekend. So I'm me and Onana will share. I'll share that award with him on the podium.
Difference is, TJ, you don't get paid fucking millions of dollars to do that.
I don't. But I
wait.
Almost
Stanley ain't paying you.
Yeah. Almost threw a poll in the group chat though to see who and ask who would let in more howlers this year, me or Onana.
Oh, you should have.
And like,
just because. What if you don't like the response and it ends up being you?
The thing is, too, like,
paid millions of dollars to do that. It's my charity work.
Fuck it.
See, De Gea would always let in a couple howlers every now and then once, like in the season, but then he would also make great saves. Well, not right now is just fucking might as well not even be in the goal.
It is so wild too, because did De Gea win the Golden Gloves last year?
Yes.
I mean, no way.
No.
Yeah.
2 years ago. Was it last year?
I thought it was last year. I thought I saw a picture with him and Ten Hag. Golden Glove winner, Prem. Would that be 2022?
Yeah,
23?
he did. You're right. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I thought it was 2 years ago.
And then you guys just binned him off.
Oh, he was.
Not only did they bin him off, nobody else is. He's still a free agent.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I think it's probably because of the liability that the Danes. I mean, you got last couple of years where he's making absolute, cat-like reflex saves, and then he's also just standing there looking at the sun while the ball rolls past him. My shithouse list goes to something actually like from last weekend, so the recap this podcast is covering as well. By the way, I forgot to tell you earlier, fuck you for bringing up Champions League, seeing as we don't have it. So, yeah, leave that one there for you. This is a kid. It doesn't name the kid, but this is in like all the escalator, the main kind of area where the fans are leaving Tottenham Stadium. And this is after we've just had that comeback, getting ready for the coming match. A child, probably like 9-10 years old, on top of his dad's shoulders. Everything goes quiet and he just puts his arms out and he goes, "When I was just a little boy, my mama gave me a little..." And then everyone, he had the entire thing just join in and start singing. And his dad is like, even though his son is just cussing, his little heart out, I think that is got to go up there for me on the shithouse list of the weekend.
Yeah. No different than the kids that we're raising in the pub every weekend, right?
Oh, yeah, Jackson. Shout out Jackson. Yeah, that man will be headbutting people soon, throwing them out the pub himself. We trained him well. It's fine.
Wink, wink.
All right, Ken, here it is, your final prediction.
Yep.
So I'll give Man U, and then I'll give the Arsenal Tottenham. Man U, I'm going to say 3-1. I'm going to say we let in a shitter, and then we win 3-1.
Okay, I was like, which way is that going?
I love it.
Fair enough.
Remember that conversation we had earlier about not getting the hopes up?
Out the window.
All right, and then I'm going to have to be this guy.
You can be this guy.
TJ, kick him out right now. Mute him and kick him out right now. Just mute him and kick him out.
I'm going to have to be this guy. I think it's going to be
I don't want you to be dishonest. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a very, very close game. I think Arsenal scores first. I think it goes into halftime, 1-0 Arsenal. And then I think you guys come back in the second half around like the 60th, 70th minute. You score a second one, tie it up 1-1. And then I think it comes down to the last 10 minutes of the game. And I just think, depending on how the game rolls out, I think Arsenal's just going to find a way to squeeze another one. And I think they're going to end up winning 2-1.
Okay. You're dead to me.
The late winner is what's going to hurt.
Yeah. All right, see you later, boys. Bye.
That's all right.
All right, guys.
Well,
I'm joking. I'm not joking. That hurt deep. That cut deep. But I appreciate your honesty. We're gonna get a bunch of hate now. They're gonna try and cancel the podcast, even though no one listens. And then you just kind of ruined it all for us. So well done.
Yep.
Ruined everything. You're party pooper.
I'll be the guy that everyone hates so that you guys can get famous.
We're gonna end with this, and it'll only be for our 6 people that watch on YouTube. But we've got a new foster dog, and I have to show you guys on camera what this dude looks like.
Oh, definitely. It can't be much more exciting than that little girl that the one. Did you ever meet her, Dane? The dog that had that condition where the legs would seize and she would stretch out.
So cute.
Oh my goodness! Oh, buddy!
No way!
What is that?
I don't know. So he looks like
I don't know.
a pit bull, a Rottweiler, and a bulldog, and maybe a little bit of black bear in there.
Look at him, Black Bear. He's just a sack of potatoes, isn't he? What's up, Todd?
TJ, I'm not gonna lie. When you first brought that dog over, I saw like the color of it, and I thought it was a Rottweiler.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
so
anyway,
cute.
He will soon be available for adoption. We'll drop a link to the Love Pit.
Definitely.
Todd said it's Spurs 2-1. It's probably about time for him to take his 17th nap of the day.
There you go. Well, yeah, that's awesome, and we always love supporting the Love Pit, and I guess a lot of love at the pub too. So definitely shoot that link out there, TJ. I take back everything that's been said in this podcast bad because I've just seen that beautiful thing. He is now the thumbnail for this episode.
Boys, I do have
boys.
just
All
a
right,
little
boys,
bit of appreciation.
Come on, you Spurs.
Hang on, he's trying to say something else. Come on.
Just one last thing.
It's the longest outro to a podcast I've ever heard.
Come on, United.
Ah, fuck off.
We do.
Get out. Get out.
Come
Leave.
on.
Kick him out.
See you guys.
Pot over.